everybody. Glad to be here. Glad to be with you. Hi, Anais. How are you today?
I am in the mix, Elise. I'm in the mix. So we thought it would be really perhaps a good idea to talk more about the idea of the shareable wave and how it functions in our lives and how we view it as being something that is happening in the human collective. It's happening at a global level where we're little by little, bit by bit, cleaning up the mess that has been created in the 3D defective simulation of creation. And it's quite the task. And everybody who's been source sparked and is aligned with source and with Gaia is aware that this is happening, and so we're all beginning to show our impulses of how we can contribute. So we want to contribute by bringing on guests and people who are making a profound impact because they've been pushed onto a life path, and most of us have been pushed onto a life path that wasn't the one that our egos or our conscious mind would have chosen. So, shareable wave is about an energy wave. It's about a scalar wave that is able to broadcast quite organically and quite naturally a frequency that carries a connection to source, a connection to Gaia, a connection to love, a connection to wholeness and integration of self, and a desire to co-create and bring the best of who we are to whatever we can put our hands on. Why do we need this? I'm going to let Elise give her answers to why do we need this shareable wave, and it's happening. It's good to be conscious about it. But Elise, from your perspective, why do we need it?
Well, I think we need it because we're in the matrix. We're in this human condition of disconnection from source and from Gaia. And it's really important that we connect and be the best that we can on that level of connection. We're all here. I believe we all have a purpose here in life. We're here to do something deep and profound, and on whatever level that is. Some is more different than others. I've known from a really young age that I was different, and that I was going to do something very different in life. My connection to God, source, was all up in the parochial thing. So I knew that what my family was trying to teach me about quote unquote God, Jesus, and all that, it just didn't resonate in my heart. So it just didn't feel right. So as a young child, I'm exploring. Imagine my mother's face when I told her at 9 years old that I was going to read the Book of Mormon, because I didn't think it was going to work for me with the Bible. But I needed to find something else. So ever since I was a little child, I knew that I had to weave through the muck and the mire and figure out what the truth really was. So I've always been that kind of humanitarian, truth-seeking person. And, I've been studying for well over 40 years, and it's like, it's been enlightening and intense and fun and crazy. And, I'm more connected now than I've ever been. So that, I found my soul tribe. I found a group of really amazing people, small as we are, but we're growing, which is kind of why we're doing the shareable wave. So tell us about your story, Anais.
Oh, we don't have time for that.
well, just simply what your shareable wave is and what you feel like your mission is on the planet, maybe in a small. You can condense it a little bit.
My mission on the planet has been the same since I arrived here when I was born, which is to be part of the transformation of this planet and return it in its entirety of what is salvageable, and return all of that energy to source. And need to be able to be part of that process. I have had to engage that process within myself every day of my life. Every day of my life. So I'm really clear about, been clear for a long time, who I am, where I came from. But I think ultimately the easiest way to describe what we're here to learn, everybody talks about these days, the people who are in our community. Did you learn your lesson? Have you learned your lesson? Did you learn your karmic lesson? Have you learned your lesson? And there is this very, 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 very dynamic, and it's interesting, and it's energetically intense process of what we call waking up, which includes the idea that we have lessons to learn, and that Earth is and ultimately, I mean, that's all well and good. It certainly uses up a lot of time. It certainly uses up a lot of life force and energy. But while you're learning your lessons, if your lessons are not lessons that generate value for other people besides yourself, you haven't learned the primary lesson of why we're here at all. We're only here for one thing. Just one thing, and that is to be the embodiment of unconditional love. That is where we came from. That is who we are. That is what we are meant to share, to know, to feel, to create with. And all of these really, truly insane structures have been built around that simple little gem. So, for me, the shareable way is let go of everything that is not you at your core, connected to source as the embodiment of love. And that's not about being a guru. It's not about being an ascetic. It's not about, because those are just more stories. And our stories are killing us. Our stories are killing the planet. Our stories, most of the time, take us further away from the experience of unconditional love and our connection. That's my mission.
That is very well